Let's start with the most dangerous piece of ancient junk in your body, your appendix. This tiny tube hanging off your large intestine serves absolutely no purpose in modern humans, but it can randomly decide to get infected and potentially take you out. It's like having a grenade in your belly that might go off for no reason. Scientists think the appendix used to help our ancient ancestors digest tough plant materials and raw meat. Back when humans were munching on tree bark and uncooked mammoth, having extra digestive help made sense. But now that we cook our food and eat processed everything, the appendix just sits there doing nothing, except occasionally swelling up and requiring emergency surgery. Here's the crazy part. Some animals still use their appendix. Koalas have massive appendixes because they need help breaking down eucalyptus leaves, which are basically poisonous. But human appendixes have shrunk down to about the size of your pinky finger. Evolution started getting rid of it but didn't finish the job. So now we're stuck with this useless organ that sends over 300,000 people to the emergency room every year. But your appendix isn't the only ancient body part that's completely pointless in the modern world. Remember how your dog's ears perk up when they hear a sound? Humans have the exact same muscles, 3 of them actually. They're called the auricular muscles, and they're designed to move your ears toward sounds you want to hear and away from sounds you don't. The problem is, most people can't use them anymore. These muscles made perfect sense when early humans were living in dangerous environments. Being able to quickly point your ears toward the sound of a predator could mean the difference between becoming lunch or living another day. Some people can still wiggle their ears a little bit, but it's basically a party trick now. What's really wild is that these muscles are still connected to your nervous system. When you hear a sudden loud noise, they automatically try to move your ears. You just can't feel it happening because the muscles are too weak to actually move anything.
Psych!
Your body is still running ancient software that's trying to operate hardware that doesn't work anymore. Animals that still need to move their ears have kept these muscles strong. Cats can rotate their ears 180 degrees. Horses can move each ear independently. But humans traded ear mobility for bigger brains, and now we're stuck with phantom ear muscles that do absolutely nothing except waste energy. And speaking of wasted energy, there's another set of muscles that are even more useless. Ever notice how you get goosebumps when you're cold or scared? That's your body attempting to make fur stand up to trap warm air or make you look bigger to predators. Except humans don't have fur anymore. So instead of becoming a fluffy, intimidating creature, you just get tiny bumps all over your skin that do absolutely nothing. Each hair follicle on your body has a tiny muscle called an erector pili muscle. When these muscles contract, they're supposed to make hair stand up straight. This works great if you're a cat trying to look scary or a bird trying to trap air for warmth, but human body hair is so fine and sparse that when these muscles fire, you just get goosebumps. Scientists think early humans lost most of their body hair around 1.2 million years ago, when they started sweating to cool down instead of panting like other animals. But the muscles that controlled that hair stuck around. So now, millions of years later, your body still has an automatic response designed for fur you don't have. The weirdest part is that goosebumps still happen in response to emotions. When you hear an amazing piece of music or watch an incredible movie scene, those same ancient muscles fire up. Your body is literally trying to make non-existent fur stand up because you're emotionally moved. Evolution kept this completely pointless response for millions of years. But at least goosebumps don't hurt. The same can't be said for the next ancient body part on our list. Humans have a tailbone called the coccyx, which is basically the leftover stub from when our ancestors had actual tails. This little triangle of fused vertebrae at the bottom of your spine serves no purpose except occasionally causing you pain when you fall on it wrong. Our early ancestors needed tails for balance when they were swinging through trees and climbing around in trees. But when humans started walking upright, tails became more of a hindrance than a help. So over millions of years, human tails gradually disappeared. Well, mostly disappeared. We still have the bones, they're just fused together into a useless little stub. Here's the crazy thing. Sometimes babies are actually born with tails. It's rare, but it happens. These tails can be up to several inches long, and they usually have to be surgically removed. It's like evolution occasionally glitches and forgets that humans aren't supposed to have tails anymore. The coccyx also has muscles attached to it that help control your pelvic floor. So it's not completely useless, but mostly it just sits there taking up space and occasionally getting bruised when you slip on ice. Some people even have their tailbone surgically removed because they cause chronic pain. And if you think having a useless tailbone is weird, wait until you hear about the teeth that are literally too big for your head. Wisdom teeth are possibly the most annoying evolutionary leftover in the human body. These third set of molars were perfect for our ancestors who had bigger jaws and needed extra grinding power to chew tough roots, raw meat, and fibrous plants. But modern human jaws are smaller, our food is softer, and wisdom teeth have become basically useless. The problem is that evolution shrunk our jaws faster than it got rid of our wisdom teeth. So now most people's mouths are too small to fit these extra teeth. When wisdom teeth try to come in, they often get impacted, meaning they're stuck and can't break through the gums properly. This causes pain, infection, and can mess up your other teeth. Dentists remove about 10 million wisdom teeth every year in the United States alone. That's a lot of unnecessary surgery for teeth that don't even do anything useful. Some people are lucky and their wisdom teeth come in fine, but for most of us, they're just expensive problems waiting to happen. What's really interesting is that some populations have started evolving away from wisdom teeth entirely. About 35% of people are now born missing at least one wisdom tooth, and some people don't develop them at all. Evolution is finally starting to get caught up and get rid of these useless teeth, but it's taking its sweet time. But wisdom teeth aren't the only mouth-related evolutionary leftover that makes no sense. There's a muscle in your forearm called the palmaris longus that was designed to help our ancestors climb trees. If you put your hand flat on the table and flex your wrist upward, you might see a tendon pop up in the middle of your wrist. That's connected to this ancient climbing muscle. The weird thing is, about 14% of people don't even have it anymore because it's so useless. This muscle was super important when early humans were swinging from branch to branch. It helped grip tree bark and support body weight during climbing. But now that humans spend most of their time on the ground, the palmaris longus has become completely unnecessary. Surgeons actually love this muscle because it's so useless. When they need tendon material to repair other parts of your body, they often harvest the palmaris longus tendon. You literally won't notice it's gone because it does absolutely nothing in modern life. Some people can make this tendon really prominent by flexing their wrist in specific ways, but it's basically just showing off an ancient climbing tool that hasn't been useful for millions of years. It's like having a built-in grappling hook that you never use.